We at Connecticut CASA appreciate the thoughtful coverage we've received already from many news media outlets, ranging from the New Haven Register and its Hearst, Connecticut media newspapers to the Day of New London, the New Haven Independent, and various others. We've benefited too from many generous individual and foundation donors, including the Tegna Foundation, which is related to the Tegna media companies. Still, our hometown TV news station, WTNH, and its anchor, Ann Nyberg, deserve special recognition. Ann invited me to join her Nyberg program back when Connecticut CASA was launching in the New Haven region back in February 2020, and then recently invited me to return with Dwayne Jackson, the CASA volunteer we met earlier tonight, to talk about his work so far and our statewide launch of Connecticut CASA. So please take 5 minutes to view the video from July of Ann Nyberg interviewing Dwayne and me.
The CASA organization in Connecticut has just gone through some changes. To tell us about how this will help those who help children who have experienced abuse and or neglect are Josiah Brown, Executive Director of Connecticut CASA, and Dwayne Jackson, a volunteer. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Ann.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, Josiah, tell me about the consolidation of CASA, which just happened recently. How is this going to help you?
Well, it's going to allow us to serve more children. We've been able to double our board to 18 terrific people from around the state, and it will give us more resources to operate more efficiently, to recruit, train, and support outstanding volunteers like Dwayne. And I hope you'll have a chance to draw him out a little bit about the training process that he's gone through, as well as what he's actually doing to advocate for children, whether in the foster care system or those who are still with their families in what's known as protective supervision.
All right, well, let's do that right now. Let's draw out Dwayne. Dwayne, give me a little bit about your background and why did you become a volunteer at CASA?
I was a manager for two large organizations in Springfield, Massachusetts, and in Stratford, Connecticut, and my background is in human resources management, but I'd like to say that that led me into being a volunteer for CASA and other organizations. But in fact, I became interested in getting involved in the lives of children way back 40 some odd years ago when I was in college. But I found a lot of self-satisfaction in being involved in the CASA movement. And as you may know, I'm a volunteer advocate for 2 sets of children, and I've been at this for about 6 months now.
Tell me about your experiences and how you are growing and what you see with the kids so that others may also volunteer.
Yes, and the main objective for the CASA volunteers is to understand what the child is going through in their current situation. That current situation may involve being under the care of a relative, or being under the care of a foster family, or being under the care of the parents through protective supervision. So when the CASA meets with the children, which is at least monthly, we try to gauge where the child is in terms of their safety and well-being, and to what extent they might still be in need of additional services. So a lot of our role is gathering facts, understanding what the child is going through, so that we can credibly and comprehensively report back to the court in terms of what we are seeing in terms of need and their general well-being.
Well put. Josiah, where would we be without CASA for these kids?
Well, we're part of a national movement, and that's now in 49 states. You and I spoke about 1.5 years ago when we were just starting out. And since then, we've trained 5 cohorts of volunteers like Dwayne, over 50 people from all walks of life, ranging from their 20s to their 70s, who are advocating for children so far in the New Haven court, working in collaboration with professionals both in the New Haven and Milford DCF offices. We're working with attorneys, teachers, medical professionals, and such. And volunteers like Dwayne not only look out for the best interest of the child and help recommend to the judge periodically what's in that best interest, they also help connect the children and their families to resources like after school and summer programs. And even with the pandemic, some of our volunteers have been helping connect families to housing and food and other basic needs, again, in concert with the professionals from DCF and elsewhere. And there was recently a news article that quoted Commissioner Durantes of DCF talking about the value of a team, that the needs for these children and families are great, particularly exacerbated by the pandemic. So having dedicated, consistent, caring adults like these CASA volunteers, part of this proven national movement with better outcomes for the children, is valuable. And we see a great opportunity in partnership with these others to grow the movement here in the state.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for what you do for children. It makes a huge difference. Thank you for being with me this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ann.
You bet. And for more information about the CASA organization, go to WTNH.com or the Free News 8